Hi Aries, welcome to your, I was going to say end, but it's actually mid-June 2020 General Tarot Update. It's Raina here. So I've been saying end when it's really not supposed to be. And I just wanted to check in with people, see how that lunar eclipse in Sagittarius worked out for you. For some of you, this was in the 9th house, so the first half of the sign of Aries, and so this may have been kind of a spiritual thing, but even for those where it fell in the 8th house, it might have been a very intense kind of a time of purging a lot of deep emotions even. So if I felt it being a sun in Sagittarius, I can just imagine how some of you felt like it. And that's what the Ace of Swords is kind of like that, you know, this sense of, you know, understanding exactly, you know, what is going on. In some cases, there you go. The 8th house is the house of death, you know, Scorpio. Wow. And look at all of these major arcana cards. So you might have experienced quite a lot of change, or you're going through that currently. So very interesting. The heart of the matter is the Chariot card. This is a card of connected to Cancer, and is a card of success, but especially dealing with a lot of distractions, like being able to kind of keep that hyper focus in spite of everything around you kind of conspiring to distract you. And certainly there have been a lot of distractions, haven't there? But you know, somebody pointed out to me that the horses are duality, black and white, and he's holding on to both of them. So it's kind of that Zen non-dualism, or the Buddhist non-dualism. And this is helping you because you're able to see, not take a side, see the truth beyond the differences of something. And we have in the past position the Ace of Swords, which is about that mental clarity. And they also, let me just get, I'm glad I have this book out. This is a well-worn copy of Tarot Plain and Simple, Anthony Lewis. And he says, how does he put it? But he says out of evil circumstances. I don't know what he means by evil, but probably, you know, very difficult. Yeah, strength in adversity, a sense of power, right timing, fresh ideas, mental energy. But there was something else. Let me see here. Surmounting obstacles, and this is kind of what I was referring to with the Chariot card. But there was something. Okay, something good emerging from evil circumstances. That was what kind of always kind of caught my eye, because I was thinking, evil? What's evil? What could possibly be evil that has a good connotation to it later? And the Chariot card is about, you know, sometimes it can be travel even, but there's a sense of where I think is very important for Aries people is self-control, because you have this you know, tendency to get very caught up in something and possibly, you know, get too emotional, and then you kind of lose the plot, you know. And this means that you didn't allow somebody to get the best of you, and you were able to stay in control And that has led you to that sense of success or victory over a particular situation. And then we have as a higher message, as a spiritual understanding, the Judgment card, which is that the card of rebirth. And this is kind of going along with that lunar eclipse, which can be the death, of something. And the Judgment card is about, having to go through something in order to have a new beginning. So maybe it was trials and tribulations, so to speak. And because of that, you're able to come out the other side feeling like you were victorious. But not to say that you didn't go through a lot. I also think that with the Ace of Swords, you may have found out the truth about something. And that has, led you to be able to move on in a way that you don't have this sense of longing for something that just isn't there, and that can keep people stuck a lot of times. And what crosses you is the Ten of Pentacles. So this sometimes is family money. I was getting this, that's one of the things too. It's family money, can be inheritance. And that's one of the things, because we have the Death card and also the lunar eclipse for some of you was in the 8th house. And even for those that it was in the 9th house, this could be like a legal situation, or even on the spiritual level, an understanding, a spiritual download that allowed you to see the situation in a higher sense, so that you were not allowing yourself to just get caught up in the moment of whatever is going on, and that you're able to really see things as they are. It's so difficult sometimes when there is a situation like that, where people have this tendency to get caught up in the immediate thing and not see the bigger picture. And that's really what is so important with these types of situations. So however this shakes out, or has, you can still remain victorious. Somebody may have tried to get you, kind of hook you in to some other drama, and you may have not taken the bait, because you know that there's no point to that doesn't get you where you want to be. What is coming in is the Death card, and that is a card of accepting that something is truly over, and not kind of holding on to it. And it's all about the change that is happening. That's why I feel like there is something that you have kind of triumphed over that was involving, maybe it was even on your own end, where you were in denial over something. And for instance, let's talk about an inheritance, and perhaps it really hit home for you how it was when you were a child, dealing with certain things. And to tell you the truth, there are, I'm trying to think about that, if there are planets in Cancer, because that is your 4th house, you may have already been activated. Later this month you're going to have that. Well, I'm not going to talk about that, because for a lot of you, that solar eclipse it's in Cancer, but it's going to affect your 3rd house. So this may be a situation with siblings that comes up, or has come up, that in a legal judgment of some sort, and when you found out the truth, you were able to, or you know that you're going to be able to do it, but you're still dealing with this kind of this legacy. And with the Death card, it's understanding like what is true and what is over with. Sometimes it is unfortunate, but you see people's true natures at this time when money comes into play, whether it's an inheritance, whether it is a maybe even like a living will, or like a parent who is still alive, but there's like what do you call that? You know, I can't think of it, but the person who is in control of in control of the estate. They, sometimes they give one child. It starts with an A, doesn't? I was going to say authorship. I don't know what you call it, but you know what I mean. And they are the ones that make all the decisions for the parents. What if they're writing their own checks and they're taking money out, and you find that out, and you are horrified, or and it is what it is. You don't want to think that they're doing something like that. Even like in a personal relationship, if you're going through a divorce, maybe you didn't want the divorce, but now that it's coming about, you are realizing that, you wanted this dream of this, children and grandchildren and all that stuff, and that has been kind of like, destroyed in some way, and you have to accept it. I was just thinking about this the other day, about people that I know, or that I have known, and thinking that they had the most amazing marriages, and finding out otherwise, and just being like, still, I was just thinking about this the other day, thinking, gosh, I thinking it doesn't have to be that way, and it is. I mean, whether I like it or not, I mean, that's how it is for some people, and trying to rewrite history or act like it's different, you can't. So that kind of thing. So the other thing too is, being able to just move on, I guess I would say, is important. And then we have the outcome card, and this is a strength card. And yes, this is a card associated with Leo. So as timing card, maybe it takes a month or a couple months for you to get your bearings and feel, come back to feeling your usual confident self, going through this rebirth process. But also this is a card of just building up your strength and being able to, and realizing that you have it, when perhaps you were kind of doubting it because it was so difficult to deal with a particular situation. And it's always like amazing and awesome to realize that we are stronger than we know. I know that has always been something that has made me feel good in life. And it's at these times that we find out what we're made out of. So in any case, Aries, I hope that you enjoyed this. If you would like a personal reading, I'm promoting a double reading at a special price. It's called the Whole Enchilada, which are full-length natal chart interpretation and transit reading, along with a tarot reading, full-length tarot reading. More information is available below in the link. And thank you so much for watching and sharing and subscribing to me. Take care. Bye.